back and better than ever Wednesday, August 22nd, the 60th birthday of my old man. We're here to talk a 10-game DFS slate. I didn't look at the early slate. I'm sure Jake did, so he will be able to give you those thoughts in a bit. Last night, not great, although the Nats did do what we needed them to do. I didn't have a lot of Defoe and Zimmerman, so it didn't really help me out all that much. I need to break out of my weird schneid that I'm on over these past couple days. Go back to last week. Jake, I saw you creeping up at the top of that mini-max that you've been owning lately. How's the rest of your night?
Yeah, it was good. It was just basically that one lineup. So sometimes you just get lucky with one and things all get put together and kind of saved me. So it was good. I doubled my money basically with that lineup only. I don't know. It was just a lucky night. I don't want to say like I had some crazy good night. But yeah, Blake Snell the GOAT. Man, that guy is just a horse. I love that guy. Chris Davis too. Yeah, you guys know. You guys know how to talk my language in this chat.
Yeah, I'm not really happy with the back-to-back Chris Davis dong calls. I could do without it. 10-gamer today. Really weird pitching salary structure. It's almost in like reverse order of what you would normally think. So that'll be fun to talk about. We've got ownership already. So I think we should just dive in.
Let's do it.
Okay. First game up. Braves and Pirates. Braves 4-run implied total. Pirates 4.1. The 52% chance to win for the Pirates. Julio Teheran going for Atlanta. Trevor Williams going for Pittsburgh. I'm rarely on Teheran. Today is not going to be that day. It doesn't appear that anyone else is on him either. Only thing that I'm interested in here, and I'm following the field quite a bit. Like the Pirates bats a lot. I'm over the field on both sites. They're my number 4 stack on FanDuel and DK. And they're pretty chalky. So are you liking anything in this game, really? Just broad question.
Yeah, so here. All right, we're starting. Yeah, all right, there we go. I don't really like a ton in this game. I think Gregory Polanco and Josh Bell both make sense. But like, I don't really want to attack Trevor Williams. He's just a guy I've kind of been backing off a little bit. Better real life pitcher than DFS pitcher. Not a guy who's going to get a lot of strikeouts, but really good at limiting hard hits. And I think it's a fine matchup for Freddie Freeman and maybe Markakis if you want to maybe mini stack. But I don't think I'm just going to full on stack against Williams. It's under 70 degrees here. It's not a great park to start with. So not a good hitting environment. And then kind of as we were talking about the live stream, like talking on the live stream last night, we just kind of ignored Kevin Gausman, and he was a pretty decent road favorite with a team with a 3.6 total against him, and no one was on him. So
he played really well too.
I know. I was like, man, why isn't anybody on Gausman? And I was wishing I had more, but I didn't. I think I had like 6 or 7%. So I was wondering if Teheran was going to be the same way, and he kind of is. So he's a pretty good arm. I don't know that this is a great matchup for him. Probably too many lefties for me to want to just fire him up, but certainly an interesting option at the very least at no ownership.
Yeah, I love the top of the order. It's hard with the 3 outfield bats, but any combination of those first 3 plus Bell. I like Cervelli on DK. I like Colin Moran for 2,100 on FanDuel. Just a bit too cheap. So I'm going to have some Pirates. I'm not necessarily thrilled about it, but I like targeting against Teheran. When it goes for him.
Sure. That's very true. Yeah, he does have some blow-up starts in his bag for sure.
I have way too much Corey Dickerson. And he's chalk, so I'm not really.
How much do you have?
How much is too much Corey Dickerson?
Like 15%, 20%.
Okay, I have a lot more than that. 32.
Whoa. On DK?
Yep.
Interesting. Maybe I need to look into that one more.
Basically my ownership cap.
Wow.
Lead
Dickerson,
off,
huh?
lead off, lefty righty, only 4,000, which is pretty cheap for an outfielder in a good spot like that.
That's true. I mean, I think he's a fine play.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I mean, we're projecting 24, so I don't necessarily like the idea of just being with the chalk on Corey Dickerson, but it's checking off all of the boxes I like outside of a good implied total.
Man, we're projecting 24.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm not with the field on this one then.
Yeah, look, like Marte is 17, Polanco and Bell 9 and 8. They have 8% aggregate ownership. I mean, they're like the fourth highest projected team on the slate.
Okay. I guess.
Kind of wild. I didn't expect it either, but yeah, here we are. And
Weird
I hate
one
the
to start
bottom
out
of the
with.
order. Like, I don't like Adam Frazier or Moran or Hechavarria on DK. Moran just happens to be like ridiculously underpriced on FanDuel, which makes it interesting.
All right. Well,
I'll
guess
have a
we're on
little bit of
opposite sides, like
Inciarte
yours.
and Freeman as well, if we want to touch on the Braves.
Yeah, just probably Freeman and Markakis for me.
Yeah, I'm more Inciarte than Markakis, but I don't think I've had Markakis all year.
He's good.
He's having a good season, that much I can say.
Yeah.
Phillies and Nats. Welcome to the breakout Nats last night. 3.6 run implied total for the Phillies. 4.8 for the Nats. The 63% chance to win for said Nats. Zach Eflin going for Philadelphia. Steven Strasburg going for Washington. Love Strasburg here. 9,900. Crazy price. We're projecting 23% ownership. I've got 39. I'm doubled up on FanDuel. Love Strasburg. I don't have any Eflin. So, are you with me on Strasburg today?
You know, I'm not. I was just like looking to see if he made any rehab starts, and he hasn't. And he hasn't pitched in a month. So I don't really know what to expect with him as far as pitches. I mean, he's a decent favorite. I don't know. I mean, how many pitches do you expect him to go? I know it's just I'm kind of putting you on the spot. And
I mean,
guess
I would expect some sort of like 80-ish number. If like as of right now, I'm going in expecting no issues because I don't know anything. We'll get some sort of information, I would assume, throughout the day that says how long we expect him to go, and I'll adjust accordingly. But for right now, I have him in for just over 6 innings. And I think that's a fine place to be. If we find out he has a pitch count, I'll probably knock that back down to like 5 and change. But he's just at 9,900. You know, he's just a guy that misses bats, and I'm willing to take my chances.
I mean, yeah, but so I would be right there with you. But Noah Syndergaard is 10-2, and he threw 115 in his last start. So I just can't play Strasburg with uncertainty. If there's going to be a huge gap, like, okay, I understand it, but like I think Syndergaard is underowned where we have him right now. I think he is the clear best play on the slate, and I don't think Strasburg is really close for me. So they're too close for me to consider Strasburg. I much prefer Syndergaard.
So what if we got told there was no pitch count on Strasburg today? Would that change your mind at all?
A little bit. I would at least understand him being closer to Syndergaard.
Okay.
Like if they said he's full go, he can go 100 plus for whatever reason, then I would understand because he is a very good arm. He's at home. He's against the Phillies. They strike out a bunch. Like it's a fine matchup, but I'm just worried about upside compared to some other guys.
Okay. I hear you. Yeah, there's a decent chance that I adjust this and Strasburg comes down, and that'll push Syndergaard up for me. Right now, I basically have I'm like the inverse of the public ownership. So I'm heavier on Strasburg and lighter on Syndergaard. But Syndergaard is the guy in the 10s that's popping up for me. Just not as much as we're projecting.
What was his pitch count last rehab start? I don't think he had one. He didn't have one that I saw. I can look that up again just to double check, but I was on Baseball Reference last night and looking at his minor league stats from this season, and I didn't see anything. Yeah, he hasn't pitched since July 20th. Threw 98 pitches in that start, but that was a month ago. So kind of tough to expect like a full go for Strasburg. I didn't see if he did a bullpen session or what, but who knows?
I feel like if he's not doing any rehab starts, that I trust it a little bit more. If he was on the DL for like his arm or something, I would get it. But neck is a weird one.
True.
Hit a nerve impingement. I think like if he feels good, I think he just goes. I don't know. We'll find out. We're gonna get that sort of news before the night's over. It's Strasburg.
Okay, here we go. He's thrown several bullpens in recent weeks and tossed a 70-pitch simulated game in St. Louis last week.
Okay, so he's going 80. I would say
85, 90 maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. So that makes me understand the ownership a little bit more compared to a guy like Syndergaard.
The Nats are giving up, so no reason to think he'll go deep. Yeah, they won yesterday. Had their best offensive day in a while. Probably not going to hop on that narrative.
Could you imagine if they just stormed into the playoffs and won the World Series after looking like they're tanking?
I mean, if they made the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if they won the World Series.
If you got Scherzer and a healthy Strasburg, that's a pretty good one too. Right. And then it's not like they don't have good hitters too. So,
do they have a shot at that? All right, playoff odds right now. Nats, 15% chance to win, 15% chance to make the playoffs.
That's not even that bad. I mean,
it's higher than I expected. They
just a 6 or 7 game win streak. All of a sudden, you're right back in it. So they could easily, not easily, but it's doable.
They're 6 games back of the Brewers for the second wild card spot.
Definitely doable. They need to get hot.
Rockies ahead of them, Phillies ahead of them, Dodgers ahead of them.
Ooh.
I'd say they're the second best team of that group.
I mean, yeah, they're not better than the Dodgers, but
look, there's a scenario where they can do that. So they're certainly not giving up on the season with 15% chance to win. Or 15% chance to make the playoffs. They might be selling Adams and Murphy, but those guys aren't going to be like their future guys anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're going to ride it until that 15% number is 2%.
Hope y'all didn't play Guerra like you were touting. I mean, we said we were playing Guerra. We played Guerra.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can be Monday morning quarterback, but that's fine. I mean, he had one of the unluckiest innings in the history of baseball. So, I mean, you could say it was a bad play. He wasn't. He was pitching fine and got incredibly unlucky. And
obviously, we're going to play the people that we talk about. It would be grimier if we didn't.
Yeah.
It's baseball.
I mean, just look. I don't know what I think it was the 4th inning. Maybe just look that inning up. Like, see how many mistakes were made.
Look, it's baseball. I'm super wrong a lot of every single day. That's just how it's going to be. I touted 12 different pitchers yesterday. I'm not going to pat myself on the back for one and ignore the other. There's going to be a lot of shit thrown at the wall every day.
Yeah, you can say Guerra's not that good. I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, that's your opinion. That's fine. But I think he was a fine play yesterday. He was cruising until the Brewers fell apart.
Fucking Brewers. Yeah, I'm definitely way more wrong than I am right. It's baseball. You have to be.
Right.
It's a game where most guys have success only 35% of the time. Like
that's if you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
35% for a hitter.
Ooh, I don't know what it is, but my coffee is damn good today. All right, time to talk big time bats. Cubs and Tigers. Cubs 5.4 run implied total. Tigers 4.1. 62% chance to win for the Cubbies. John Lester going for Chicago. Francisco Liriano going for Detroit. This one surprised me. I don't really have Lester. Just like a couple casual lines. Normally I'm really heavy on him, so. I don't really have it. The only thing that I want are the chalky Cubs. They're my #1 stack on both sites, and that's where the public is too, which doesn't really make me super happy, but I can't imagine, like, I don't know how you avoid them here.
My God, that's a lot of ownership on the Cubs.
Very, very lots of ownership.
I mean, I know Liriano's not great. In fact, he's not even good. But Cubs are so tilting, right, Derek Lowe? Shut out by Zimmerman. I think Rizzo had that home run falling down, but that was all they got last night. So I don't know. People are doubling down on the Cubs. That's fine. I think they're in a great spot against Liriano. A little bit of wind blowing out again. He has massive issues with righties and walks. So I love Contreras. Daniel Murphy's going to be in this lineup? Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Even lefty. He should probably make his way up in the order, I would think, as he gets more comfortable. But Baez and Contreras are my favorite plays here. A lot of lefties in this lineup. So there's a case to be made for the fade, I think. In that, like, Liriano could get some breaks with all these lefty bats. He's much better against lefties, but this total kind of says it all. So I think I am on the Cubs bats, just not as much as the field.
Yeah, I mean, Almora, Baez, Contreras all look incredible in this righty-lefty matchup. And then if you want Happ or Rizzo, Hayward, Schwarber, like, everybody's a little different depending on the site. Rizzo's $300 more expensive on DK than FanDuel. So he's basically awful on FanDuel and incredible on DraftKings. It's a really weird balance. I'm going to be there, but I can see me nerfing this a little. I don't trust it. The actual lineup that comes out is going to be really interesting because this is a lot of lefties, and I don't love it. But huge total.
Right, huge total, and that's a lot to do with the bullpen too. Like, Detroit does not have a good bullpen, so you can understand how they get to 5 or 6 runs pretty easily here.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. I mean, Baez might be the best play of the day. I don't know. This is a really good spot.
Yeah, awesome spot for him.
You like anything on the Tigers?
Yeah, I actually do. So 4-run total for Detroit. I love Detroit tonight.
They're so cheap on DK.
Cheap, and Lester's not that good against righties. Like, not even, like, he's average at best against righties this season, at least. He's not the same Lester, giving up more hard hits. Like, he's awesome against lefties, but when you're going to see 9 righties, I'm just not interested. They're going to put the ball in play. 18.6% K rate for Lester this year. Only 13% soft contact, a bunch of pulled balls, line drives. Like, he's been really lucky this entire year, especially against righties. And this is a pretty good regression spot. So Castellanos, McCann, Candelario, and Goodrum all stick out to me as really, really solid plays.
Yeah, I've got a lot of Candelario, Iglesias, Castellanos, McCann. Ronnie Rodriguez is, like, criminally over-owned for me right now. I was surprised at how owned they are, but really cheap, great positional flexibility. So lots of guys that aren't just outfielders, and if they are, it's second base, outfield, dual eligibility, or second, third for Ronnie Rodriguez. Really easy to fit in with other teams, and I think that's why the Tigers are so popular for me. They're my #5 stack on DraftKings. I've double the field right now.
Yeah, I'm with you there on the Tigers. I love that.
Okay, come on. We're not supposed to be agreeing.
Right?
We're doing this wrong.
Okay. So Lester, yeah, he may have changed his mechanics, or said he did, or he thinks he did. I think he just had a pretty good outing against Pittsburgh. It wasn't anything special. It's not like he was missing a ton of bats. In fact, he missed more bats in the national start where he got rocked. Like a 13.6% swinging strike rate in that start. Under 10 last start. Wasn't really getting ahead of guys. Like, the chase rate wasn't up or anything. I don't know. He just looks like a very average pitcher. And I'm not on Lester. That's for sure.
No.
and I am on Detroit bats.
Yeah, same page here, man. 9 righties will do that for you. I mean, granted, a lot of these guys suck, but even crappy baseball teams win games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it here. To the Giants we go. Giants and Mets. Giants, 3.3 run implied total. Blech. Mets, 4.2. The 60% chance to win for the Mets. Casey Kelly going for San Francisco. Noah Syndergaard going for New York. Syndergaard, obviously very popular. He is the highest owned pitcher in the top tier at 35%. I'm actually under the field there. I only got to 20. Similar story for me on FanDuel. Again, this will change a little bit if I back Strasburg off. I just don't need all of it. But, I mean, he looks great. I love the price point. The Giants are just sort of a tricky K matchup, so I don't totally love targeting against them. While their season numbers have been a little higher for strikeout rate against righties, they don't generally project it, at least not in this lineup. What's more interesting to me here is Casey Kelly. If he can go 5 innings at 5,000, I like that against this Mets lineup. So I know you like Syndergaard, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, just everything that I wanted to see from Syndergaard in his last couple starts. The run prevention has not been perfect by any means, but at this price, 10-2, if he's going to be able to throw well over 100 pitches, he threw 115 in his last start. He's just an automatic top play for me. Giants strikeout above average for the season. If you go down this lineup, it's not perfect, but didn't they lose Buster Posey? Didn't they say he's having?
I think he's out for the year, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know why he's in the projected lineup.
He's in the projected lineup. He's got a 12% K rate, which is unreal, and now he's going to be pulled from the lineup.
Likely to have season-ending hip surgery.
So he's hurt. He's hurt anyways.
Oh, here's the quote. Hold on. San Francisco Giants catcher Buster Posey is dealing with a hip injury, but will continue to play for now.
Oh, okay.
He's likely to get surgery that would end his season, but they're confident that he can't get hurt by continuing to play. More hurt. So he might still be playing.
Why wouldn't they just shut him down? They're not going anywhere.
Who knows?
Why?
Are they definitely not going any? I have no idea what their record is.
I don't.
I mean, they might shut him down soon.
Yeah. Okay. So I got to change that. I just assumed. I saw the alert last night, and I just assumed that.
Yeah.
He was going to be out.
0.4% chance to make the playoffs. They should shut him down
immediately. They need to shut him down. So maybe they do, but I wrote in the Spotlight Pitchers article that they lost their best hitter in Buster Posey, one of their best hitters in Buster Posey. So that'll get edited out. So who knows if he's going to be in the lineup? If he is, he's still nursing a hip injury. That's not good. ISO under 100 this year against righties anyways. So he's clearly hurt. Syndergaard swinging strike rate is way up. Looks healthy to me, and he should be able to mow down this lineup. You got Duggar in there and Longoria. These guys strike out all at or above league average. McCutchen too, Belt. So there's no speed too in this lineup, which is something Syndergaard really struggles with. He's really bad at holding runners, giving up 25 stolen bases this year, which is pretty awful. And the Giants have the 6th fewest stolen bases against righties this year. So just another reason to play him. I think he's just an awesome play.
Yeah, I'm looking at his rolling weighted runs created plus this season, game by game, 10-game average. And it's been a pretty steady drop-off lately. And a very solid line downward trend. So, yeah, just shut him down, man. But, look, he's the face of the Giants. Been there for 10 years. I get why he wants to play through it,
Yeah. So wasn't gonna change nothing.
Am I crazy for wanting a bunch of Casey Kelly?
Yeah, he doesn't look very good to me. So
what don't you like?
So he's 5K.
Is it the 4K rate this year? Because that's reasonable.
He doesn't strike guys out, so I don't really like guys that don't strike guys out. 7% swinging strike rate. He doesn't give up a ton of hard contact or anything, so he could survive against a bad team in the Mets. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but I just don't know if there's really any upside. That being said, we have some pretty crazy chalk on another guy in his range. So just as a pivot, I don't think it's the worst play at virtually no ownership.
Right.
So
I don't know. AAA, last couple starts, going 5 innings, 6 innings, whatever. Like, to me, this is the same sort of scenario as Sparky yesterday. In AAA, he's going 5, 6, 7 innings, so he's, in theory, stretched out.
73 pitches his last start. So, he could go 80, 85, 90.
Yeah.
If things are going well. That's the problem. He just doesn't miss any bats. Really.
He's a bit better in AAA this year from a strikeout perspective. I'm trying to sell myself just as much as I'm trying to sell everybody else here.
No, you should. You should. When you've got chalk down here and this guy's going to be unowned and has a decent pitch count, He's
thrown a bunch of innings in AAA this year, 130. So I'm happy with that sample. 18.4% K rate. That's not atrocious. It's not good.
Okay.
But 7.2 per 9, that could be worse.
I know. He's just he's not a good pitcher. I want to point to something where I can be like, this guy has a very good chase rate, or this guy gets swinging strikes, or this guy gets first pitch strikes and he gets ahead of guys, and that's why he limits damage. But honestly, I don't really see much with Kelly that is positive, so it would just be a slate thing.
Yeah, as of right, we're going to talk about it. Trevor Richards, 41% projected ownership right now.
God.
Casey Kelly, $800 cheaper. I'm basically splitting that 41 among both of those guys. 4.2 run implied total for the Mets. I like it. He basically just has to navigate Conforto as far as I'm concerned. And that's my only real worry. I'm going to end up with a lot of Casey Kelly tonight.
McNeil. I like McNeil.
Okay, yeah.
3,700.
Agreed.
Yeah. So McNeil, Conforto, I think are the two favorites for me.
I don't like either of these teams from a hitting perspective, though, today.
Okay. Yeah, just a couple hitters on the Mets. I'm not going all out on them. So, yeah, that's about all I got for this game. Just play Syndergaard, in my opinion.
Play Casey Kelly, in my opinion.
Good God.
Oh, man. I'm not really comfortable with it, but I'm gonna roll the dice.
Oh, we'll get there, Kyle. 1-12. We will get there.
Well, maybe not to that. Indians and Red Sox. Indians, 4.6 run implied total. Red Sox, 4.4. Ooh, this one's wild. 52% chance to win for the Indians. It's Carlos Carrasco going for Cleveland. Brian Johnson going for Boston. Carrasco getting 9% ownership on DK. I only have 1%. I'm not really looking at the pitching here. I'm guessing you're on the same page as me.
Yeah, you're not getting that much of a discount on Carrasco. And I just can't overlook Thor for 10-2. If Carrasco is 8.5 or 8K in this spot, I definitely consider him more just because he's looked unreal. And I probably still will have a little bit of Carrasco, but most of my exposure in this range will go to Syndergaard, the overwhelming majority. So I can't say that I'm crazy about Carrasco because I'm not. I just the way I'm playing quote unquote Carrasco is I'm going to be off of most of the Red Sox bats, very, very low on them.
I'm also very low on the Red Sox. However, public perception, 3% aggregate ownership to the Indians on FanDuel, 2% aggregate ownership to the Indians on DraftKings. I have 14% on FanDuel, 12% on DK. Are you smashing the Indians with me?
Yeah, I like the Indians.
Boom, boom, boom.
against Brian Johnson, who was a guy that I was playing as recently as his last start. I don't think Johnson is bad, but I just think that Lindor and Ramirez and Diaz and Yan Gomes especially all have the advantage against him. So they make for a pretty nice four-man stack.
Lindor ownership on DraftKings, 4%.
That surprises me too, because we've got a pitcher that's so cheap and just soft pricing all around, I think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, 4% for him on DK. I got 28.
Wouldn't want to play Lindor. Okay.
Love Brantley.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a lot closer to you.
Lefty. I love it all.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I mean, you'd never have to convince you to play those top three, and at low ownership against a guy that is not the greatest pitcher in the world and in a good park, I'm certainly in.
Yeah, this is my favorite stack of the day.
Really? All right.
They're not my highest ranked. They're third on FanDuel, sixth on DK, but
just like
in terms of like being over the field, this is the team that I am just all over.
Okay.
I see no reason not to. Brian Johnson's not that good.
I agree. I learned that the hard way last time out. It wasn't terrible, but I still don't think he's terrible. But against Lindor and Ramirez, he does not have the advantage very, very clearly.
I'm so pumped for this one. I hope that ownership holds. I want it all. And yeah, I'm not on the Red Sox at all. I'm not trying to target against Carrasco.
Yeah.
Oop. Royals and Rays. Royals 3.5 run implied total. Rays 4.5. 61% chance to win for the Rays. Jake Junis going for Kansas City. So Stanek is starting for the Rays. My guess was Faria as the guy that comes in. He has been the furthest back from someone that has pitched. It could also be Chirinos. I haven't seen anything official on either way, so that information is just out there now. Jake Junis, however, 20% expected ownership. I think that is bonkers. I have 2. Are you riding the Jake Junis train today?
Yeah, you cut out there a little bit. I missed. How much Junis do you have? None?
2%, and we're projecting 20.
Okay. Yeah, I'm more closer to the 20% than your 2%.
Really?
I like what I've seen out of Junis as of late, just kind of limiting the damage against the Cardinals, Cubs, White Sox twice. I know the White Sox isn't great, but he did what he was supposed to do in those starts, and that's just have a quality outing against a bad team. He definitely has some issues with power, but this park, you can kind of get away with that for the most part. It's not like the Rays have a ton of power either. They're rolling out Malik Smith and Matt Duffy to start their lineup. Doesn't exactly strike fear into my heart playing Junis. So he can strike out righties. He can strike out lefties to some extent, but I wish there were more righties in this lineup to play Junis. I'd probably be right with the field. I think that's a fair ownership, actually.
Was Faria really sent down 6 days ago?
I just searched him. I thought I heard
Option
something.
Faria to AAA, activated FAM. All right. Chirinos it is.
So it is going to be Chirinos then.
FanGraphs needs to update their shit. I guess he'll just fall off of that chart when that next day ticks off. That's probably
so. Kyle wants 12 is saying Stanek will be Rays opener on Wednesday versus Royals. Chirino to work bulk of innings. Mark Topkin. I'm assuming that's a beat writer for Tampa.
That news I don't even think that came up on Faria's like FanGraphs page. Nobody gives a shit about him. Oh, no, there it is. 8:15. Option to AAA. All right. Fuck me then. Get that Yanni Chirinos. I won't have
Laurel
him. So
Laurel Chirinos.
it won't matter. I won't have him.
You won't have Chirinos?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. You're kidding. You're crazy. This guy is Glenn Sparkman on steroids. So pretty decent.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see the appeal.
You don't see the appeal with Chirinos on this slate?
Not really.
We've got Trevor Richards chalk against the Yankees, and you can play Chirinos for cheaper in a better matchup with a lower run total. And Chirinos is good and gets strikeouts.
I'd probably rather have Casey Kelly.
Oh my gosh. Chirinos going to be lower owned than, what's his name, Richards by like 25%.
Yeah, I mean...
Do we have him in ownership right now?
No, we don't.
Okay.
He'll
show up there.
Okay, so I like Trevor Richards better than Chirinos if I don't know the ownership. If I don't know the ownership.
Oh, okay.
If I don't know the ownership, like, Trevor Richards is grading out for me better than Chirinos would. Just saying that. I would prefer Chirinos to Trevor Richards if I knew that Richards is 41% and Chirinos is 2. So I think we're on the same page there. But yeah, like, I have Casey Kelly grading out like a slight notch better from a value perspective than Chirinos.
I mean, if they're the same ownership, or even if Chirinos was higher owned by 10%, I'd still take Chirinos over Richards.
I'm going to have Chirinos and Kelly just like by default at probably more than the field on both. So I think I'm taking a long way of saying it, but like, I'm not going to have a crazy amount of Chirinos, right? I don't see him grading out as anything too crazy.
Chirinos, I mean, like, he's got the things I look for: the high chase rate, like 11% swinging strike rate. He's going to be low owned because people don't want to play a guy that, you know, we've seen not come in when he's supposed to come in. And I think the slate, it's just a perfect slate to play him with. People are going to be on Richards, maybe Casey Kelly too. I don't know, but he's not the only guy down here. But I think he is by far my favorite guy down here. So I'm on him. I'm taking the risk. I know it's tough to play Tampa, the relievers, just because we've seen them screw us, but I'm doing it here. I'm pretty confident it's going to be Chirinos, and this Royals team is so bad, especially the bottom of the lineup, tons of strikeouts, and Chirinos has shown he can get strikeouts and go 6 innings and up to 88 pitches, I believe, in his last outing. So there you go. There's the case for Chirinos. I'm all over him.
If he's in the Fantasy Cruncher player pool right now, I'm going to re-crunch. I probably had his innings a little bit lower. I didn't realize he was going as deep as he was. He seems to be a little bit different than some of these other guys. He's averaging 4.75 innings per start. Or per, like, appearance. Okay, so he's not in there yet, so I can't even run it even if I wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, he'll show up there at some point. Hopefully later rather than sooner, so less people are on him.
Yeah, I'm going to be there with him. I'm guessing probably somewhere in like the 10 to 12% range.
Cool.
I don't think he's anything special, though.
I mean, he's not Max Scherzer, but
well, no shit.
Like I think he could be a solid starter. I mean, they just don't start him. Yeah. But so that's actually favorable though, because Stanek's going to pitch the first inning, maybe inning and a third, maybe gets 2, and he's going to face Witt, Alex Gordon, Salvador Perez, and Lucas Duda, and then Chirinos going to come in and be able to face Bonifacio, Hearn, Herrera, Phillips, Alcides, Escobar. Like, so he's going to miss Witt and Salvador Perez and Duda, the 3 scariest bats to start out with.
A good point.
I don't know. It's just like, I think he should be the chalk, not Trevor Richards.
Honestly, that might be true. I'm warming up to Chirinos now. All right, I like that whole little quadrant of Richards, Chirinos, and Kelly.
Oh man, I mean, I
don't know why I called that a quadrant for 3 people, but
yeah,
whatever.
Oh god,
the triangle of terror: Trevor Richards, Yonny Chirinos, Casey Kelly.
This will be a good slate. This is gonna be fun.
Look, I'm happy to ride for Casey Kelly on my own. Any bats here? I've got the Rays on FanDuel. They're significantly cheaper than most teams, as per usual, on FanDuel.
Bowers keeps dropping in price. I don't really see why. He looks fine to me. 3,500 dual position eligibility. So I really like Bowers and Wendell to some extent. So those two, probably not stacking against Junis here.
Okay. Yeah, it's another one of those days where the whole fucking Rays team is 2,500. So
yeah. Stand your ground, Josh. Don't cave in.
I'm not going anywhere. It's not like I make changes based on what we do. If it comes up, it comes up when it comes up. I don't manually adjust anybody's projections. I'll adjust innings projections for people with information, but I won't adjust a player's projection. I assume that the sheet is smarter than me. To the Yanks we go. Yankees and Marlins. Yankees 4.3 run implied total. Marlins 3.2. It's a 63% chance to win for the Yanks. Lance Lynn going for New York. Trevor Richards going for Miami. This one is fucking insane. Trevor Richards, 41% expected ownership on DraftKings. I've got 22. I think that's even, a bit aggressive, but I will be half that 41. I also expect that 41 to come down closer to lock. The more interesting thing to me right now is Lance Lynn. Only 14% expected ownership. I've got 34. You like Lance Lynn today?
I mean, a little bit. I think Lynn is fine. Really low total for Miami. It's a good pitcher's park. It's a bad team that just lost their best lefty. And the lefties in this lineup, Sierra, Riddle, Dietrich, Ortega, they don't scare me really at all. So I think Lynn has a shot for another really solid outing and kind of correct after last outing. So I am on Lynn. Richards, I am not on. This is not a good matchup for him. So he's got that changeup, really, really good pitch to lefties. But against righties, I mean, he's going to get hit hard. And he already has been hit hard this year against righties. Just a 20% K rate against righties is 20% hard hit rate. Like Andujar, Stanton, Hicks, or Torres, like Romine can hit too. Like this is a watered down Yankees lineup for sure, but just because Lopez had some success yesterday does not mean that Richards will. I think this is a bad matchup for Richards with those four guys in there.
Yeah, it's a weird one for me. 41% is just way too aggressive. Way too aggressive. I can't imagine it. I'll have more Lance Lynn than I have Trevor Richards.
Oh my God, easily. Yeah.
That's a great spot for Lynn.
Yeah. I mean, I'm never excited to play Lynn. Are you? Like, you're just like, man, I got to fire up some Lance Lynn.
Now that he's on the Yankees, I'm a little bit more excited about it.
I guess. So the Twins bullpen can't ruin all of his starts. Not that he was.
Yeah, like if Lynn goes a solid 6 and he leaves with a win, or like with the chance at a win, he's probably getting it.
Yeah. It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So I like the Yankees here. We're projecting basically no ownership to the Yankees. I've got double the field on both sites. I'll probably even try to be a little bit more aggressive there just to get on top of that Trevor Richards exposure. Are you going to go to Yankees bats?
Yeah, the righties I mentioned. So Stanton, Andujar, Gleiber, Romine, and then I just love Hicks. I just think he's a very good hitter. I know Richards is really solid against lefties, but I have no issue with Hicks in a full Yankee stack, honestly. The Marlins bullpen has not been good recently either, so this seems like the Yankees should be chalk here. I'm completely on different sides of this game than what we have, so
yeah.
I'm interested to see how this changes as the day goes on, if at all.
I hope Richards stays chalky. Like, really chalky.
No, Badger and Bournemouth fan. No, that's D2. My school was D3.
Fair enough. Do you have anything else you want to touch on here? Some of this hitting is just dreadful today.
No, I don't even know where you target. Like, I guess you go Dietrich against Lynn,
I
but
don't go anywhere. This
honestly,
is just
it's
a
like,
sea of red.
yeah, yeah.
Look, just FYI, I totally understand why Richards is the chalk.
I understand why some people would want to play him, but as the highest owned pitcher here, no chance.
Now, it's weird to me, but like, I expected him to be pretty highly owned. I just didn't expect 41%. Wild shit. To the Padres we go. Padres in Coors, 4.2 run implied total. Rockies, 6.3, a full 2.1 runs ahead of the Padres. 69% chance to win for Colorado.
Nice.
Thank you. Jacob Nix going for San Diego. John Gray going for Colorado. Now, this is the chalk that I'm trying to eat. John Gray projected 39% ownership. I've got 41. Almost double the field on FanDuel. I'd say Gray is probably my favorite pitcher of the day, combining upside and value. You with me on John Gray?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. He can allow runs here and still get you there. Like, you saw what he can do. Had a really nice outing against Atlanta despite giving up 3 runs, 9 strikeouts in 7 innings. He could do something similar here. I mean, just so much electricity in that arm, and if the Padres can't hit the ball, like, this park's not going to matter. So people are on to playing Gray in Coors. I think everybody knows you play pitchers in Coors that pitch in Coors all the time. So I'm not shocked to see the chalk. This is chalk that I will eat. There's not much lefty power. Like, you can make a case for Hosmer. He hit a homer last night, but he's 5K. So I just like a ton more guys at that price tag. So I'm on Gray. Yeah, he's a pretty easy value play for me.
Same. And then Rockies are obvious chalk today. I'm with the field. It's hard to really avoid them today. I mean, I could understand maybe not wanting the full 5-man stack, but this implied total is just so high above everybody else that they're really hard to not use. You need to be making a very interesting stand, in my opinion. So I really like all the Rockies bats. I'll be having a lot of Colorado.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to look how chalky they actually are.
What do you want to know?
And it's substantial. So
yeah.
I mean, I understand that huge total, and Nick's not a guy that really misses bats, as you saw in his last start. Is, if you couldn't call it even a start, he went under an inning, allowed 5 earned. I don't think he's anything special. And now going into Coors, like, his pitches, his arsenal pitches, he's got fastball, change, cutter, I believe. Like, that can survive in Coors, but I just don't think he's good. So, like, I don't think those pitches are good, and that's tough when you're going into Coors. So, yeah, all over the Rockies. Hard not to be. Highest total by a mile here, and yeah.
Last night I had the Padres. Tonight, not so much. So, it's just Rockies for me. And I'll have everybody except for basically David Dahl.
No David Dahl?
Too expensive, hitting 6th. Like, I get to Blackman and Cargo before that. So it takes a very specific set of circumstances to get to him for me.
Okay. That's understandable.
Okay. Let's do it. 2 games left. Angels and Diamondbacks. Angels 3.5 run implied total. Diamondbacks 5. It's a 65% chance to win for the D-backs. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna whiff on the pronunciation of this again. So
I couldn't do it.
I'm gonna look it up on Baseball Reference so I can just let it roll off the tongue moving forward, Michaelis style. Odrisamir Despagne. Odrisamir Despagne.
Odrisamir
Despagne.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Odrisamer.
Odrisamer Despaigne is going for the Angels. Clay Buchholz going for Arizona. I don't have any pitching in this game with anything interesting. I would like to have some Diamondbacks bats, but ultimately, I'm kind of just good on this game.
I kind of rambled about Buchholz on the night shift in that saying I don't think it's a crazy price for him, honestly, but just not the slate for him. So he's 10K. He was like the only high-priced pitcher on the last slate when he had the complete game shutout at like 9,500 or something. And there was no one else on the slate, and he was just a solid option for 20-plus points. He just doesn't have the upside that a guy like Syndergaard or Strasburg has, or even Wheeler or Flaherty for that matter. So no Buchholz for me, but not really targeting against him. Besides Francisco Arcia, I like his matchup, and he's 3,800. I don't think people will be on him. It wasn't a shutout. Oh, my bad. It was 9 innings, right? Like he went complete game though, 6 strikeouts. Did he allow an earned run? I don't remember. Anyways, he had 30-plus points, but Despaigne, he's nothing special to me. I don't see anything that makes me want to play him, even though Felix Pena, our boy, mowed down the Diamondbacks last night.
He did indeed.
And we weren't on him. I feel cheated. Just a miss by me. So Escobar, Peralta, Pollock, and Goldschmidt. I love when those guys are bunched up in the order. I'll have a bunch of them because I'll be able to afford them with Yanni Chirinos and Syndergaard being underpriced.
Yeah, I have more of them on FanDuel than DK, but I'm just with the field. No big leaps here. It's just kind of a blah game. I wish it were more, but I just can't get to the D-backs. They're a little overpriced.
Yeah, Felix Pena, LOL. 4 runs in the first 2 innings, like 12 Ks. He's got a lot of upside in his arm. That you've got a slider that's that sick, that gets that many whiffs. You can get in a groove and just start striking out everyone.
I wanted to circle back to this. Will Griffey, I'm wondering how you guys approach FanDuel single entry tournaments. Do you go safe at pitcher, etc.? I just put a random lineup in all my single entry stuff, so I don't really have a preference. It'll be one of my random 180 lines. I don't even know what's going in it each time. Yeah. That seems to be working for me, so best I could do. Sorry, I know you probably want a better line or better answer than that, but
yeah. I would look to stack. So just lineup construction wise, I want a pitcher that I think has a ton of upside, or at least some of the highest upside on the slate. So I'd go with a guy like Syndergaard tonight. I don't really mind chalk on FanDuel for pitching, or DK, really. I don't mind chalk pitching, but I would be double stacking. 4-4 or 4-3-1. Pick your 2 favorites.
Yep.
Try to get a little bit different of a lineup construction somehow if you're going chalk at pitching.
That's exactly how I would have it. 2 stacks and a relatively chalky pitcher that I agree with. Is mostly what I'm having on FanDuel. And that's across the board, single entry or otherwise. But single entry's been good so far. Final game. Cardinals and Dodgers. Cardinals 3.3 run implied total. Dodgers 4.2. It's a 60% chance to win for the Dodgers. Jack Flaherty going for St. Louis. Walker Buehler going for LA. If you thought that Jack Flaherty was going to be the most expensive pitcher on DK's slate, raise your hand. I didn't see that one coming. I have no Jack Flaherty. Walker Buehler at 10-4. I'm right with the field. We're projecting 8%. I have 9%. That's fine by me. I'm not going back to the Dodgers as a stack today because I do think Flaherty is good. I just think he's overpriced. So this game is basically nothing to me.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Really respect Flaherty. Gets ground balls, strikes guys out, both sides. It just looks like a really solid pitcher. And in the pretty big park, I know the Dodgers can hit. Like we talk about them every day. We just fawn all over them. So maybe just one-offs or like very mini stacks, like 2-mans. Yeah. But Flaherty's just someone I don't want to be rolling out like 15% Dodger stacks against, like I've been doing against pretty much every guy they faced over the last couple of weeks.
Cue the huge Dodgers victory then today.
I know, right? I mean, would you be shocked?
Nope,
Like,
not at all, and it will fucking irritate me.
but it's not like they're unowned too. So if they were all going to be like 5%, then okay, I understand the Dodgers stack just because it's such a deep lineup. But yeah,
If Flaherty were getting any gas behind him from an ownership perspective, I'd be more likely to try to keep with the Dodgers. But if he's not going to be owned, I don't need it.
have you guys learned your lesson by playing the disappointing Nats?
They had more runs than anybody else yesterday.
Yeah.
Didn't
What do you mean they had 10 runs yesterday? And is he saying like you should keep playing these teams that are sucking?
I mean,
Because they're
the
going to
answer,
go off?
Greek. The answer is definitely that we did not learn our lesson. But I mean, last night's not the example.
My best lineup had a Nats 2-man.
Yeah. Noted incredible catcher Matt Wieters, 2 for 5, 3 RBI, and a run scored.
Zimmerman had 20 plus.
Defo went yard, but I don't think anybody had that.
No bias in DFS. That is false. There's definitely bias in DFS. I'm definitely someone who has bias, so I need to check myself every now and then. Guys I fall in love with, especially pitchers.
I don't have any personal bias, so that makes me happy.
Well, not personal bias. Like, I don't know what these guys do, but
No. I mean, I guess, this is my sheet. That is my bias, but, I'm not generally making any changes because I like or don't like a guy. I'll have just as much guys I hate as guys I like.
oh yeah, okay, makes sense.
I try to take that out as much as possible. NBA is where it bites me in the ass. That's where my personal bias gets in there. There's just I don't feel the same way about baseball.
Right.
Oh, Greek, I know you were fucking around.
Josh called Nats yesterday. Yeah.
I call Nats every day though, so it's not like I could take a ton of credit for it.
It's a good thing we stayed on them. I almost pulled my Nats exposure, and that was my best lineup.
Oh, dude, I was sweating it for a little bit. Oh, we didn't even talk about Kopech cruising and then rain delay killing him.
He was not cruising.
He had 5 Ks in 2 innings.
He had 51 pitches.
So he had 5 Ks. He did exactly what I was looking for him to do. If he could have pitched 2 more innings, he might have had 10 Ks.
I will say, he looks unreal. He looks so good.
2 innings, 3 hits, 4 Ks.
Like, his stuff is just ridiculous. So, I got lucky not playing enough Kopech with the weather. So I'm not gonna act like I was like a good DFS player for not having enough of him, because he looked really good just throwing. So yeah,
Moncada
definitely learned my lesson there.
last night. Look at him. Had to happen eventually.
Moncada, you hit homer.
Yeah. He's been so bad lately.
Yeah. Okay. So Kopech's the guy who throws 105 or can throw 105. That's what people were telling me during my fantasy draft last night. We had the Twins game on. Imagine that. Yeah. So I didn't know that was the guy. He's nuts.
Yeah.
What about Bueller, by the way?
I'm the same as the field. 8% on DK. I have 9.
Yeah, I want to like Bueller more. It's just Syndergaard. I keep going back to Syndergaard. But I probably will have a little bit of Bueller. Where do we have him for ownership? He's only 8%.
Yeah.
Getting a bunch of righties. He's getting more swinging strikes lately. Chase rate looks pretty good to me as well. And then the Dodgers are letting him go a little bit. So he's got at least 90 in each of his last 5 starts. He's gotten up to 105, 103. Just encouraging stuff. So I think Bueller is a good pitcher, really low total against him, and a lot of righties. So I will have a bunch of Bueller.
Alrighty. No more give me 2. Give me a team to take a look at.
A team. All right. Yes. Do you want to share your screen? So we're timed up.
Yeah.
Let's do the Rockies. Let's just see what it spits out there.
That's a good point. So, a lot of John Gray, Trevor Richards at the top with the Rockies. That's how you'll see chalk happen.
Okay.
You can fill that out with, I've got Josh Bell, Corey Dickerson, Trey Turner. I've got Anthony Rizzo, Ian Happ, Corey Dickerson, Anthony Rizzo, Trey Turner, Juan Soto. But that is with noted incredible starter Casey Kelly.
Yes.
John Gray, Lance
Chirinos.
Lynn. I like this a lot.
Okay, so that's how you're getting the Richards chalkiness.
Yeah.
Now let's try a Yankees stack.
Okay.
You have that?
I've got 6 of them.
Okay.
So Lynn Gray, Strasburg Gray, Syndergaard Gray.
Yeah, so that's more my speed. Stanton, Hicks, Gardner, Torres. Ooh. Yeah, let's start this slate. Yeah, I like that a lot. Did we talk about Nats bats? We didn't really. We just talked about Strasburg and kind of moved on. I really like Harper and Soto a ton.
Yeah, I mean, they're
just wanted to say that.
5th for me on FanDuel, 3rd on DK. I'm mashing the Nats, but they're chalky.
Okay. Expected. Yeah. I don't think Eflin's just like a pushover, like someone you auto stack against. I'll say that.
Same. Yeah, I like these lines for the Yanks. Strasburg, Lynn, Carrasco, Gray. Like, you could still get really good pitching options here. You get a Baez one-off. Lots of Ronnie Rodriguez, James McCann combos that go with the Yankees.
Yeah.
I wish that I could make... I don't know if there's a way to do this. I wish I could make the unique players setting not include changing the pitchers. There's no way, but like, I don't care if the pitching changes. I'd be more likely to care that I'm rotating out more batters.
Maybe ask Dave.
Yeah.
See if he can put that in for you.
So I do want to take a look at one other team, since I think we're on the same page for them, but it's the team that we're most over on. So we're projecting very little ownership to the Indians. I think it'd be interesting to look at the Indians. Strasburg, John Gray, 5-man Indians, Marte, Bell, Contreras. I like that quite a bit. I'm going to try to find one without Strasburg. So Lance Lynn, John Gray, 5-man Indians, Juan Soto, and the McCann, Ronnie Rodriguez combo that I'm growing to love. Yeah, man, I like the Indians.
What's that?
I like the Indians a lot.
Cut out a little bit.
Now that I'm seeing it. It's hard not, like, they're just... You can still have good pitching and still get to the Indians. Walker Buehler, Lance Lynn, which I think will be pretty unique with an Indian stack. Josh Bell, Marte, Ronnie Rodriguez.
What about try Detroit? I bet you could go Syndergaard and Strasburg with Detroit.
Oh, I have a ton of Detroit stacks, so. Strasburg Gray, Strasburg Gray, Strasburg Gray.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, Syndergaard, Strasburg. Yeah,
Jeez.
Luke Duda, 2 Pirates. Rizzo, 2 Pirates.
Harper
2 Pirates.
Man. Looks good.
Buehler, Syndergaard, Rizzo, 2 Pirates.
Yeah, I'll definitely have a bunch of Detroit. I like that. I really like that look.
Well, there's a different one then. Buehler, Strasburg, Jake Bowers, Brandon Lowe, and Charlie Blackmon. Okay. And we'll look at FanDuel for you people, just because we're a little early.
People want to do the early slate too, I think.
Oh, yeah. Start hitting on it. I didn't look at it. I'm not going to be around to play it, so.
Yeah, so
I would have liked to. 4-gamer, it's right up my alley, but it's my old man's 60th birthday today, so we're going out to lunch.
Yeah. You got priorities, yeah. All right, so we've got 3 kind of top pitchers with Morton, 10K, Rodon, 9,300, Gibson, 9K. I like all those guys. Not on a lot of bats in the Twins-White Sox game. I really, really like Gibson. But basically, from the looks of the ownership, like, if you're not using Freddie Peralta, you're going to be different altogether. I was talking about leveraging with some bats. I expected Peralta to be kind of chalky on this slate, but we're seeing like 2/3 of The field taking Peralta, which would be nuts when you've got other good pitchers on this slate and salary is not a huge issue. So I like Scooter Gennett and Suarez, and even Preston Tucker against Freddie Peralta a ton. So that's where I'm getting different on the early slate. I'm probably going to a bunch of A's, but they're going to be very, very popular, as they should be. Wanted to consider Marco Gonzalez. He is at home. He strikes out righties a lot more than lefties, but I'm kind of scared of that Houston lineup now that they're all healthy, so I don't think I can get to a bunch of Marco. Just those top 5 is really tough. So just quick thoughts. You guys can ask anything about the early slate. If I have skipped over stuff, just wanted to give a quick look. Brewers going to be chalk too, as they should be.
There you go. I have no idea where I'm taking my dad for lunch. I do
Nice
know that we're
steakhouse?
having seafood for dinner. No, we did. We made steaks Monday night.
Oh, okay.
And last night was enchiladas. Tonight we're going to do a little bit of a seafood feast. And then we are starting off some ribs tonight to be ready for tomorrow. Going crazy.
Good stuff.
I hopped to FanDuel quick just because, so we can take a quick look at the FanDuel main slate for everybody. You guys got Jake's early slate thoughts, but I will not be around to play the early. Is this real? Yeah, I guess it is. We'll take a look. Let's see. We'll take a look at Cleveland again because I think that's the interesting spot to go.
Pizza rolls.
Yeah, I'll make them pizza rolls. 4-man Indians stack, 4-man Cubs stack, Strasburg. Let's see if I can find a picture. Where's Syndergaard hiding? Syndergaard with the Braves, Mets, Rockies, Mets, Nats, Mets. Lots of Syndergaard with a 3-man Mets stack today. On FanDuel, at least. Syndergaard, 4-man Cubs, 4-man Indians. Those are that's the stuff I like. That's a loaded lineup right here.
Yeah,
Syndergaard, Contreras, Baez, Ramirez, Lindor, Schwarber, Almora, Geyer, Rajay Davis. Sign me up. I'll take Geyer and Rajay Davis at minimum salary on FanDuel.
Yeah, Badger, I like that a lot. Brewers Reds game stack. I definitely like both sides of that. And it'll be a way to differentiate off of the Peralta owners. The draft went fine. Shark took Le'Veon Bell, and then I was just taking players I like. I'm the commissioner of this league, but I don't really care that much about it.
I should have gave you my my draft sheet.
What's that?
So I built, since I'm still sharing my screen, I can show you. I built a live draft tool for my wife for her draft a couple years ago. So I keep using it now. So I'm sharing it now. It says all of the projections in it, along with average draft position. Enter each pick, and then it gives you a big chart of who you should take overall whenever you're up. Removes people from the player pool, judges people against however many more like running backs, wide receivers are coming. This shit's the bomb. People are gonna want this stuff, and you're not gonna get it. But yeah, so you went Le'Veon Bell first, right?
Yeah, and then I went Josh Gordon and Aaron Rodgers. I just took players I like. So Yahoo gave me like a D+ grading, but whatever. I'm gonna win the league anyway, so that's fine.
She usually either is first or second in projected lineup every single year by using this. It's a really good way to get to like not miss anybody from a value perspective. Mm-hmm. So like if you're projected to pick, I just want to show everybody quick and then we'll get out of here because I'm pretty proud of it. If you're projected to pick
crazy.
8th and everything follows ADP, so that would be 1, 2. My baseball sheet is going to slow this down. Let me close. It's very specific rules in this one, so it might not be great for like non-basic leagues, but it does its job. So like if you are projected to pick 8th and these guys go top 7, it'll break down like, okay, you either want to take Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt, or Leonard Fournette. Gordon ranks the best. If you want to go to wideout, you can, but I would like wait it out. So everybody gets ranked by this fake value number that I've made up. So if you take Melvin Gordon 9 or 8, then we'll go Fournette 9, Hopkins 10, Kareem Hunt 11, Odell 12. So then we would be on the clock again, and now this list gets bigger. So it gives you what's expected to be the next 14 guys off the board based on ADP. So in this case, you could either go running back or wideout.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a value inflection point. I love it. This is like the best thing that I've done.
Love it.
Yeah. We do not have a Discord server for Osimo. Got anything else?
Spotlight hitters, pitchers, stacks. Check that out. Yeah, it is a six sheet, Josh. I agree, Peter.
All I do, Excel. It's the only thing I'm proud of in life.
We've got the lineup card article today from Alex Osimo.
There you go.
He's giving you slate-specific advice on the main slate. That'll drop around 4 Eastern. Time to make that sheet public. Yeah.
Hey, if she can use it, anybody can. I don't mean that negatively, but like, yeah. Fantasy football, not her foray. Alrighty, that's it. Check out Spotlight Hitters, Pitchers, Stacks. Please like and subscribe. Do all of that good stuff. Subscribe on iTunes if you want. Just do all that. Quick hits are going to come out sooner rather than later because I want to go to lunch. That's it. Best of luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Adios.